You hear the word millionaire, and it sounds almost common these days, like everyone's doing it. You scroll social media, and there's 25-year-olds flashing portfolios, 30-year-olds talking about their second million, financial influencers making it seem like hitting $1 million is just a matter of following 5 simple steps and being disciplined for a couple years. But here's the reality. Only about 3% of Americans ever reach a net worth of $1 million. 3%. That means 97 out of every 100 people you pass on the street will never get there. Not because they're lazy, not because they're stupid, not because they didn't work hard enough. Most of them worked incredibly hard their entire lives. They just got caught in patterns and systems that were never designed to get them there. My name is Chris, and I spend way too much time thinking about money, wealth psychology, and why the gap between wanting to build wealth and actually building it is so enormous for most people, because $1 million isn't some impossible fantasy. The math to get there is surprisingly simple. But the behavior, the psychology, the discipline required to actually follow through on that math for decades is where almost everyone falls apart. And today I want to show you exactly why 97% of people never make it and what the 3% do differently. The first reason is that most people never start investing early enough. This is the big one. The one that silently eliminates more people from the millionaire path than anything else. In your 20s, retirement feels like a different lifetime. $1 million feels abstract, and investing feels like something you'll get around to once you're making more money or once your life settles down. But the math doesn't wait for you to feel ready. $500 a month invested at 10% average annual returns from age 25 gets you to over $1 million by 55. But if you wait until 35, same amount, same returns, you end up around 380,000. You didn't do anything wrong. You just waited 10 years, and that decade of hesitation cost you over $600,000. The number one advantage the 3% have isn't income, it's time. They started before they felt ready and let compound interest do the heavy lifting. The second reason is lifestyle inflation. We've talked about this before, but it's worth repeating because it's the silent killer of millionaire potential. Most people earn significantly more at 40 than they did at 25, but they also spend significantly more. The raises came and the lifestyle expanded to match. Bigger apartment, nicer car, better restaurants, more subscriptions, and the gap between income and spending, which is the only part that actually builds wealth, stayed exactly the same or got smaller. The 3% do something different. When their income goes up, their lifestyle stays mostly flat. They let the gap widen. They take that extra income and funnel it directly into investments before they ever get used to having it. They're not living in misery. They're just not upgrading every time their paycheck increases. And over 20 or 30 years, that discipline creates a massive wealth gap between them and everyone else who spent every raise as fast as they earned it. The third reason is debt. Specifically, the kind of debt that most Americans consider normal. Car loans, credit cards, furniture financing, student loans that linger for decades, personal loans for things that lost value the moment they were purchased. All of these payments represent cash flow that's being sent backward to pay for the past instead of forward to build the future. The average American household carries over $100,000 in debt. That's mortgage, auto, student loans, and credit cards combined. And the monthly payments on that debt consume a huge percentage of their income. Money that could be invested, money that could be compounding money that could be building toward that $1 million mark. Instead, it's servicing interest payments that make banks wealthy and keep families stuck. Yeah, the 3% aren't necessarily debt-free. Many of them have mortgages, but they're extremely intentional about which debt they carry, and they aggressively eliminate debt that doesn't build equity or generate returns. They understand that every dollar going toward a car payment is a dollar that's not going toward their net worth. And they structure their lives to minimize that drain. The fourth reason is that most people don't have a system. They have intentions, they have goals, they have vague ideas about wanting to be wealthy someday, but they don't have an automated, repeatable system that builds wealth without requiring daily willpower. The 3% set up systems: automatic 401k contributions, automatic Roth IRA transfers, automatic brokerage account deposits. Money moves from their paycheck to their investments without them lifting a finger. They don't rely on remembering to invest. They don't rely on having money left over at the end of the month. They engineered their financial life so that wealth building happens first and everything else works around it. And that's the difference between intention and system. Intention says, I should invest more this year. A system says, $500 moves to my index fund on the first of every month, no matter what. Intention is hoping you'll make progress. A system is guaranteeing it. The fifth reason, and this one is the most psychological, is that most people don't actually believe they can get there. $1 million feels like a number for other people. Richer people, luckier people, people with better jobs or wealthy parents, or some advantage you don't have. And that belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you don't believe it's possible, you don't start. Yeah, if you don't start, you don't build momentum. If you don't build momentum, you never see the compound growth that would have convinced you it was possible all along. Hey, droid, the 3% aren't delusional optimists. They just ran the math. They saw that $500 a month for 30 years at market average returns crosses $1 million. They looked at that number and thought, okay, that's hard, but it's not impossible. And then they started, not because they were sure it would work, but because the math said it could. And they trusted the math more than their doubt. So here's what separates the 3% from everyone else. It's not income. Plenty of high earners never hit $1 million because they spend everything. It's not intelligence. Building wealth doesn't require a genius IQ. It's not luck. Compound interest isn't luck. It's math. The difference is behavior. Starting early, keeping lifestyle in check, eliminating wasteful debt, building automated systems, and believing the math enough to stay consistent for decades, even when it feels pointless. Like, that's it. That's the whole secret. And the fact that it's so simple is exactly why most people ignore it. They want a complicated answer because a complicated answer would explain why they haven't done it yet. But the simple truth is harder to accept. You could do this. You could be in the 3%. You just have to start and not stop. If this changed how you think about building wealth, hit subscribe. I make videos like this every week about money, psychology, and what it actually takes to build a financial life. Most people only dream about, no hype, no shortcuts, just real conversations. And if you want to understand the bigger system that keeps most middle-class families financially stuck, even when they're doing everything they were told to do, go watch my video called "The Middle Class Money Trap Most People Never Escape." It connects directly to everything we talked about today, and it might explain why you felt stuck even when you're working hard. Links right here on screen. Go watch it, and I'll see you over there.